All right, welcome guys. Welcome to another live stream. So it's Tuesday, so it's going to be maybe follow up from how the market opened. Of course, main focus on FOMC tomorrow. So and then ECB and BOE Thursday, and then NFP on Friday. So for action this week. Be ready for volatility. Hopefully be ready to see finally the dollar moving away from this range that has been since basically middle of January. 20 days in this range. Today it moved to the upside. It looks like it was a little bit getting away from it, but it just reversed. Same on the euro, same on gold, and whatnot. So same story still remains. Key levels for me to get on the dollar is still kind of that level in there, and the lows that we have been looking at as well. Boa noite. Boa noite, Jack. She's learning Portuguese, huh? Good night. Good night. So what we have in here, right? Still the same. Dollar managed to break a little bit this trend line that I have in here. Whatever that means. Maybe testing trend line, going a little bit higher. We'll see. Key levels for me, as I've been mentioning, is still kind of this level somewhere in there, and the lows underneath. Tomorrow, I'll be surprised if you don't move away. Two, three things from the Fed. Again, are they going to be hawkish or not? 25 basis points is basically guaranteed. It's more about the tonality of the speech from Mr. Chair Powell than anything else. What's the outlook for the future? Something to be aware of. Even before that, we also have some news as well. PMI, we have ADP non-farm payroll, we have job openings as well. So even before the Fed, expect some volatility in the afternoon. So it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. And let's see if we finally, we now have kind of this maybe demand zone in there that kind of still is can hold price still up. Yep, I mentioned already a few times, either this one respects it. I would like to actually see this one being broken to the upside, kind of price giving indication that would like to go higher. Even if you do that, there's even the chance that eventually you can go all the way back to the lows, take the lows, and reverse after that. So that's how that scenario of even just respecting this level and going down. Maybe even if it comes here and then maybe continues to go down or not. So a few key levels to pay attention to. That's basically what I'll be looking for. What levels as well are being broken or not before the news, that can maybe give some indication of where price wants to go next. So dollar is more of the same. Again, we're going to break this low or not. Euro index has been bouncing in between these highs. In here, it respected a little bit, kind of it maybe has a little bit of this range in here to go and fill. However, price actually respected now this demand, so there's nothing and engulf in there. Price went out the back, respected the supply. Again, yeah, maybe it could fill all this price in here. Didn't manage to break this demand today, so let's see what's going to happen next. We took those highs on the left side. Price is still kind of respecting, or there's the potential to go a little bit higher towards there. Maybe that can happen only on Thursday when you have ECB. Usually ECB, it's a good timing for the euro usually to start new trends, new cycles. It's around those ECB press conferences when that happens. For example, 15th of December, we created this high, which lasts all the way until basically the 5th of January, the beginning of January, until finally price turn and start going upwards. So that was an ECB press conference last month, almost 2 months ago, one month and a half ago. So that's usually what happens as well. You can go check the ECBs, right? So it's going to be on Thursday again, even with whatever. Something that may happen even is, and sometimes that actually is that's actually occurs sometimes, which is maybe everyone is expecting tomorrow during the ECB, during the FOMC, for price to finally move away and to start some crazy moves and the new trend. Maybe that's not so going to happen. Maybe price actually is going to just clean out the zones and almost finishes at the same stage where it was, and maybe only not even on Thursday, maybe just on Friday with the NFP. Maybe that's going to be finally the day we are going to find to move away from where we are now. So yeah, let's see. At least hopefully we are going to break away from this range, but maybe just create even a bigger range where price maybe is going to find some support and resistance until finally maybe on Friday or even Thursday with the ECB we're going to start some new trend and get properly gaining momentum away from where we are. So yeah, sometimes the movement doesn't really occur straight during the FOMC meeting, maybe just the day after. Yeah, that can be an option. So yeah, ECB, euro is in that level. Dollar yen, it's another one that is in the clear range, waiting for the dollar most likely as well. Not just that, of course, waiting for anything that the Bank of Japan is going to do in regards to their bonds and to everything that they are doing, right? So let's see what's going to happen as well. More of the same story. Nothing has changed in here. The indices, we are in the earnings season as well. Aside from all these big fundamental news that you have in the macro perspective, we also have the earnings coming out. Thursday is going to be Apple, Amazon, and Alphabet, if I'm not mistaken. So big news, big earnings. Big tech coming and announcing their earnings. For sure, is going to have an influence as well on the move for the indices. Aside from the Fed tomorrow, right? So what we have in here, price kind of reacted from that level. S&P, there's room a little bit more to go higher. It's reacting from some kind of trend line that I have in here. Yes, there's maybe room a little bit more higher, and if you do break above this high, I think we can see, if you do break above this high in here, I think you're going to see entry price going there. So that's a point to pay attention to on S&P. Let's see if we manage to move away or not from this level, or if it is respected and price goes down from here. But yes, I'll be paying attention to, as I mentioned, maybe in there would be an option. And there may be something still in here or over there in the, even above this high, something in here that price can still use. We managed to break this low slightly. We managed to break also this low, so it looks like maybe price can actually have an attempt to go lower first, maybe all the way until here. That can be maybe something that we could see happening, and then maybe resume to the upside. We are managing to break some lows on the way up, which is usually a good sign for some potential reversals. Nasdaq, right? So Nasdaq, again, is respecting quite nicely almost this trend line, this upper trend line that you see. We did manage to break the high, that high that we predicted 1 month since it was created. We saw that one as an engulf to the upside. Yes, there's maybe some opportunities to try to find some sells if price goes closer to this high. However, I think we can see actually price going maybe higher. We'll see how price is going to react now, right? There's a chance for price to maybe continue to go slightly higher. I don't really have anything in particular from this move down that could sustain price and hold price down. We just broke a new high in here. So, and this is the second time that you broke a high. Usually when I see that, I see some momentum being created to the upside, right? So we had that break that shows the engulf to the upside. Price went all the way down, respected the lows, and now it's a little bit to the upside. Finally takes the high. Usually this kind of tends to mean that price wants to continue, and there's kind of some momentum usually in there. So let's see again. Maybe this level could be interesting as well in the future if price wants to go there. And yes, maybe at the highs in here, there's something to be paying attention to in there. Yeah, we have a little bit of this fresh supply level in there. Now I went with this demand zone that was broken, and we have this supply. We'll see what's going to happen. We managed to take these lows. This demand still. I actually took the lows. It's a little bit in the mix now. It's a little bit in the mix. If I took any trades today, actually, yeah, I had a loss on the Aussie. I was looking for a continuation to the downside. Price actually reacted from a good level, but I was looking for price to resume the move to downside on the US session, and price kind of moved against me. So yeah, Aussie, it's an interesting one. I'm going to look at it in a bit. So yeah, that's S&P, Nasdaq, and Dow Jones, right? Dow Jones is the one that I was kind of bearish in here, opposite to Nasdaq, that I was kind of bullish because of that engulf down. So again, the Dow, I'm still considering this level in here. Let's see if price goes there or not. Yeah, we didn't broke this low. Kind of left shoulder in there, we're kind of respecting this level. I'm still looking to see when price can go and take out these highs into maybe this level. Maybe something in there could look like. Is there anything that this high reacted from, or even going a little bit higher towards there? So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the Dow is going to do. Yes, personally, I would like to see it first going further down in here before actually attempting to break the highs. So again, still a little bit of mixed feelings between Nasdaq and Dow Jones, for example. And just like that, my account is bigger than yours. It's because of that I'm still going to look for another trade today. I'm going to scalp in a bit, you'll see. Yeah. All right, fair enough. Oh my god. Yeah, and that's it for the indices. So yes, Nasdaq, I could see price maybe going a little bit higher, even though it just took the high. So yeah, I could definitely see it going higher. Let's see how the move is going to happen as well on the Dow. Since we never really broke this low, so maybe there's still even this demand now. Cautious with that. If we had broken into this compression, that would be definitely a different, more kind of reassurance that price maybe would wanted to go lower, since we never really broke that level. So yeah, be careful with maybe price wants actually to continue just to go higher. So yeah, let's see where it's going to. Yeah, let's take a look at the main individual assets, currencies in here. So euro, what is euro doing? Euro actually broke this low, and this can actually be a good coup. So this is what you want to be looking for. You want to be looking at small zones to be broken, just even before some news. which is a good sign, right? So euro v3 just took this low, and that could have opened the door to go farther down in there. Interesting enough, it took the low and then it reversed straight afterwards, and it's moving, it's going higher. Yesterday, what a good level in there. Yep, nice level in there with price reacted to yesterday session. Today it continued to move to the downside, and yes, we do break this level. So this is already a clue for the future. Now, question mark on the euro is the same with the pound, is the same with dollar index, and the question remains the same, which is where is actually this high reacting from? Is still reacting from that level of structure, from those highs. Therefore, there's still a chance or a possibility for price to maybe take out these highs and maybe actually going closer to that level. Or it can even just honestly break even that level, go even closer to these left shoulders in there, in alignment with this zone in here. But for now, I'll be looking for price to just maybe take those highs and take these highs, in from the 6th of April, and the most recent highs maybe just into that level, and maybe that's going to be enough. Maybe something similar on the dollar index. Yep, continuation to the upside. So by then you're correct, you're telling me that euro wanted to continue to go up, and it's going up. I didn't fight it. Higher time frame in here, there's maybe something in here that price can still kind of use it once again. There's maybe something at the extreme as well, a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen, but this for me, it's a good indication. It's a good indication, that one. It literally, in my opinion, it opens space for price to start going down in the future. So that's what you want to try to find out, are those small details in there. Just keep an eye on them, mark them, and follow what's next. Again, price then in here didn't really break this low, so it just continues to go higher. Didn't break this low neither. Now at this point, it's just kind of respecting every single low that has been created. So yep, it just continues to go higher. Let's see how it's going to react somewhere in there. How this looks compressed, to be honest. We had already broken above this level in here, and it just got compressed again. So at least above this high, I think I'm expecting for price to go to, be a little bit of a reaction from there on the euro. So yeah, bigger picture, nothing really changed. Yes, I do still like a little bit that level at the extreme, and of course the potential to go and move higher. Eventually, what kind of range are we trying to fill? Maybe this range in here. We just broke this low, so maybe that opens the door to go a little bit further down. And yes, with even potential to go somewhere in there. Be careful with these levels in here. Anytime you have some strong spikes or highs like this, that's usually a good level for price to react in the future, just similar to this one. Same way price kind of went there and start again to move higher. So yes, that's kind of what I'm looking for on the euro eventually. Don't lessons in scalping. Yeah, trade on a demo account. Go trade it on a demo. The only lesson I need, or the only thing that any scalper needs, is just to listen to rock music. It's the only thing in it. You get into the mood to be a scalper, right? Just like that. Yes, what else? Pound managing to reverse. What do you have in here? Okay, we have a double low. Perfect. Pound is basically end up doing what we predicted. Again, similar to euro, there's a chance to go a little bit higher, but for now we kind of have this quasi model working out, right? So it works just like that, and price went down. Now it respected a little bit this low, I think. So yeah, let's see. Not exactly a break still, by respecting this level. This was a good level, so anytime price, the lower low actually reacts from a good level. There's a little bit of a question mark in there if the cam eventually is going to work out We are in this range. We did break out the highs on the left. That's maybe a little bit of an engulf up for price to finally reach the good level before maybe turning. Again, what kind of range could you see eventually if you do break below these lows? I think we can see price going maybe all the way until somewhere this level. Again, it's going to be Bank of England as well on Thursday, so expect some more volatility in here on the pound. So what we may see now is going to be hopefully tomorrow or during tomorrow's session. We're going to see the major dollar pairs to be in alignment, hopefully, so it can give some idea of maybe what we can expect for the FOMC. And then on Thursday, a little bit of a separation between the dollar, because you're going to have individual news just related to the pound, and then of course afterwards lunchtime we're going to have the ECB press conference, which is going to be completely allocated to the euro, right? So whatever the euro is going to, the euro dollar, maybe the pound is not going to follow the same movements. Maybe whatever the pound dollar is going to do straight away during the BOE is not going to be the same as the euro. So there can be maybe some separation in there, even with the Aussie dollar as well and whatnot. So yes, maybe tomorrow, hopefully, you're going to see some alignment with the major dollar pairs. But then on Thursday, there's maybe some separation. And then, of course, we have NFP, which may become one of the most important indicators for 2023. That's what I'm expecting. Moving a little bit away from the CPI. And we already noticed how strong the NFP was last in the beginning of the month. We had the rally, right? So basically, that was the beginning of the move to the upside. For the month, we started a new cycle in here. We even managed to break slightly the highs, and it was like that across the major pairs. So NFP being the reason to create new cycles, and that's just to see how important those news are becoming. The same way that last year CPI was the one that after any CPI kind of a new cycle was starting. Yeah, so again, pound, maybe something in here still. Now we are definitely creating way too many highs around this level. That's something that I'm not a big fan of. We already touched it kind of once. Okay, then we have the KM, great, but then you have another 2-3 touches exactly at around the same line, 124, 187, something like that. It's way too many highs, to be honest, and I'm not a big fan of that. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. So let's see what's going to happen in here. We do have this level of previous support resistance in here. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen. Aussie, there you go. Aussie moving to the upside. I was trying to sell still somewhere in here. There was a little bit of an engulf down. But then price actually started to respect it when we were turning in here after kind of reacting from that level. I was trying to look for a sell. Yes, we did broke this low, but price just reacted from a really good level. I was looking for more continuation. I'm still looking for price to eventually fill out this. Price can go up first. We'll see. We have this left shoulder in here. Let's see if that is something that price can react from or not. Then the beginning can be all the way until here as well. So yeah, it was actually, again, all these levels in here was a valid zone where price reacted from. But meanwhile, yes, I'm still looking for that range. Even in here on the time frame, it was a nice one. Now, pound, not pound, Aussie. This one in here was a nice move down overnight during the news. Let's see how price is going to behave around this level in here. Eventually, maybe at the beginning of this compression, it may start from here. So maybe price eventually can feel all this in there. A lot of compression, no breakout level yet. So yeah, just keep following the Aussie all the way there. And yes, there you go, right? So the target, we have this KM all the way to the downside. We predicted the higher high. Again, we took those highs on the left side. We took these highs in here, price reacted from a good level on the lower time frame. But there's maybe still the chance that price may wants to go a little bit higher and actually touch this higher time frame level of structure. Our price can go even a little bit higher than that. So yes, maybe again, I'm not a big fan of all these touches in alignment with this line. It was a nice level of supply that managing to hold price so many times. I still like the extreme of this high. I still could try to find some sell opportunities. It depends how price approaches that level and when does it do it. So yeah, that's a question mark in there. Nevertheless, we actually managed to break a new low in here. So maybe price actually may wants to continue to go down in the future. So yeah, Aussie, this is what we have in here, right? So the move to downside since the prediction of that reversal and the KM created after that, it has occurred. So yeah, now it's in the middle, so not as clear at this point. In terms of reaction from levels, other than the approach, don't share secrets like that. Yeah, rock music. In terms of reaction, yeah, of course, yeah, looking left, I always try to see as well where the low is coming from. So if I want to sell, for example, did you break any levels or not? It's something that I want to be aware of. In order to, if price doesn't break anything, most likely the level itself there, kind of, if I want to sell from this high and price doesn't really manage to break this low, there's a high chance that I'm not going to be looking for that sell in there. If so, I want to see this low being broken, for example, in order to look for a sell. Then the approach matters. The approach, there are different phases of the approach. There is the approach kind of still price in the middle. When I like to see at least one time some kind of low being broken on the way up. And then there's going to be some kind of important zone in here that it's kind of a little bit closer to the extreme. So price may react from there a little bit. Then of course I want to see the level that when price breaks that level and kind of is reacting from the extreme, one of those levels to be taken, maybe the retrace and to go down. So yes, I want to see those being broken on the way up as the approach. Yeah, the rejection. I want to see the low taking the previous one on the left side, and I like to see this pattern, as I mentioned, right? I like to see some mid level of structure in between the extreme that I want to maybe to look for the short and kind of the bulls, right? I want to see this level. Like I want to see this guy that actually creates a new low from here, and after that there's this level in here going to attract people to sell, and then price can just fake out that level all the way to the extreme in there, and we have the sell. So yes, I would do like this setup in here, there, and maybe in the future then this becomes a quasi modern there, so actually we can look for this sell from there in that moment. And then of course maybe everything else, some correlation, maybe trying to see what the dollar is doing, what the euro is doing, and so on. So that's usually what I try to see, and I just froze on the platform. Yep. So I want to see spice, basically. Spice approach, good level on the left side, and that helps me. Yeah, that was that. Aussie, basically that's done. Nice reaction here on the Aussie dollar, on the Aussie yen, sorry, from this demand zone. The yen pairs, they are all still ranging, nothing much to add in here, more of the same. Let's see which direction the yen is going to go to. Pound yen, kind of a little bit ranging in between as well, kind of reaction now going a little bit lower, similar to the euro yen as well. So yep. And CAD, it looks like it's about to break the walls, right? So it went all the way up, it respected now the supply that was created in there. I don't think it has still broken these walls, kind of respected to the pip, but I think now it's finally maybe going to happen. So CAD, it has been a big sell-off today. In here, it's moving stronger than anything else. Dollar franc Swiss as well has been kind of moving quite strongly to the downside. For example, as you can see now in terms of this approach, price is just literally compressing. There's no break of a highs yet. So yep, we don't really want to look for longs at this point until we see something going on in there. And at this point, I'm not going to even look for any sells, any longs in here until we actually break the walls. Price just reacted quite nicely from this supply zone. Yeah, this may be the extreme of the extreme in there, where maybe price could eventually react or have a little bit of reaction, but I'm expecting now CAD to break the lows. And as I mentioned last Saturday, I don't really see anything in particular below this low, so I could see price even going a little bit to the extreme, or even taking this double low altogether into the next level. Yeah, CAD moving quite strongly to the downside. A nice reaction from this level. Yep. Take it. Look to demand zone. And it went. Beautiful move. Beautiful move. So there you go. CAD about to break. About to break his most recent lows, and it may continue to move lower. And dollar franc Swiss, more of the same as well. Nice strong move to the upside, kind of reacting from there. Not really sure what is that. The price just wants to continue to go higher. Yeah, not sure. Nice compression to the outside. I could see price going a little bit further down, maybe this time closer to the lows that we have in there. And I wouldn't even be surprised if by any chance we do have actually take this, not that one, this one. If we actually take these lows in here, this double low that is created, I wouldn't be surprised if we do go below that before maybe any reversal into some level in there, below those lows. And for now, a little bit of a compression here. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, this demand was still fresh, because now that this was actually reacted from there, it's just reacting. So let's see. I could see maybe more room to the downside, just like on the index, just like on the CAD. But what can you say, right? So we just talked about it. What did you say last Saturday? Right? What could you see just literally on the daily time frame? I mentioned 1904. Price kind of reacted from 1900. Right, so I missed it by 4 points. There you go. Right, so you can literally see all this compression on the daily wicks. We finally break below that next level to reach this demand zone on the daily time frame. There you go, and that's it. Price kind of react from there, and it just jumped to the upside. So nicely done. We have these highs in here. I think I would like them to see being taken. And there's a chance for price to still react from something as well at the highs in there. And because this actually is a good level where price reacted from. Nevertheless, maybe the final destination on gold can be a little bit higher towards that extreme, and maybe some with this with this left shoulder. So nice reaction on gold from here. Not sure if we managed to break below this wall or not, which could be interesting. Personally, I would actually like to see gold breaking above these highs before any retracement to the downside. So let's see if that happens. To go above this level. At the extreme, there's maybe something still to look at. Yeah, we managed to break all this. So this was the daily wicks that you could see, and this was kind of a demand zone that we mentioned about as well. So there you go, gold moving all the way up. Just the opposite of the dollar. What to be worried about an entry if price begins to spend a lot of time starting at a level? Yeah, that's a good question. That's actually a good question. I'm not a big fan of that. Of course, I prefer to see price kind of moving away, not spending too much time at around my zone of entry. That doesn't really happen that often. The price kind of starts moving away, and I try to almost go against me, and I may try to close it at break even if it breaks the key level that I'm looking for. Let's pretend that I want to sell at this level, but I may protect my overall stop loss above the bigger level. But the zone that I actually want to trade is this one. I may got my entry in there, but if our sudden price kind of starts going against me, it breaks this level in here, I'm going to try to get out at break even at this phase, because kind of the odds at this point is kind of maybe price is just going to go this and go higher. If by any chance price goes down again, if I do find a new entry of break some level structure, I'll try to re-enter short again. Yeah, if it starts to not imagine that I want to sell, it starts respecting every single demand or low, not really managing to break it, and it continues to go against me and it stays there. Yeah, I may close it if it spends too much time, or if it actually manages to break a little bit of a low but then retraces and it keeps like that. Maybe I just keep it open and try to get target 1 in there. Yeah, it's not. It may depends a little bit as well. What time is the trade being taken? Is it a good time to kind of expect still some volatility, or is kind of in the afternoon when I know that there's maybe volatility is dying off, right? So that can play a role as well. Usually actually you find those kind of trades more when they are taken in the evening. The price maybe just goes slowly against you, or kind of just doesn't move at all, because maybe there's no more liquidity in there, or volatility to actually move price away. So it depends a little bit on different scenarios. Yeah, so that's gold. I need to actually delete this. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think actually this will broke slight with this one here. But nice reaction from the daily level. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen next on gold. Yeah, again, kind of keeping an eye on that level. Bigger picture, there's maybe more room to the upside. And yes, pay attention to the correlation that we have with the dollar in there. WTI, yep, managing to respect the sign here. Strong move to the downside. It kind of just took this walls in here of the structure. Maybe price just reacted from this level. Maybe. Again, we are still within this range. There's maybe a chance that we may range for a moment. Maybe price can continue to go down, then maybe ranging a little bit to the upside. Maybe price can go and touch the supply and maybe continue to move move over, and then price maybe respects this level and go higher. So let's see what's going to happen in here. Again, it's reacting from a valid zone on the left. Maybe it can go a little bit below into that level and then continue to go higher. Yep, can even break above this highs and go, and this is maybe the range that we are going to be looking at. So let's see what's going to happen in here as well. Yeah, euro on the move. Bitcoin, what's Bitcoin doing? Yeah, reversing, managing to yeah, still within this range, right? So it doesn't break lows. It slightly broke this one, but of course the level of structure, the lows are in here. So yeah, maybe a little bit of a supply in there. There's a chance for price to go higher. I'm actually looking for price to go maybe a little bit higher. Maybe what you're going to have is price compressing and maybe slowly breaking new highs, but compressing a lot. If that happens, there's maybe a chance for price to then turn. First, maybe going to that level. So let's see if you don't have that kind of approach towards the highs in a compression way, and then eventually I would like, of course, to see some kind of low being taken before maybe we do have that higher high created in there. So yeah, maybe we're going to have that kind of move on BTC now during this next of course tomorrow, big day again, expect some volatility, but maybe that's what's going to happen. Yep, maybe that can occur. Humble Trader FX, how are you, man? I'm good, man, and you? How is everything? How is everything, man? What are you trading at this point? What pairs are you looking at? So yeah, BTC maybe. Jack, what's your take on Bitcoin? What are you looking at Bitcoin? Do you think it's going to continue to go up? It's going to respect this level. Ethereum, I could see it going a little bit higher. Actually, I already have it in here, kind of that level. There's maybe something in here as well that could maybe hold price a little bit, but I would like to see price going and taking these highs in here into that level. That's something that I would like to actually see happening. Meanwhile, yes, we broke this low, but after that, it's kind of still respecting it. I would wait to respect that level. Maybe this supply in here can still hold price to the downside. In there, yes, we did manage to break this high, so that may be a little bit of a move to upwards. So yes, let's see what's going to happen in here. But yeah, I would like to see price actually going a little bit higher on Ethereum. Waiting for MC, right? Yep. I think there's going to be some good opportunities, as I mentioned, because usually on FOMC days, there's not many news going on. So basically, okay, maybe some volatility, London open in the morning, and then price just slows down until finally 7 p.m. when you have the interest rate decision, basically in 24 hours and 10 minutes, and then the press conference, right? So and the show starts, the volatility starts. But tomorrow there's a few news in the afternoon around lunchtime UK time, so maybe that can actually give good opportunities to trade from. Again, in terms of FOMC, Usually there are three moments that I pay attention to. Of course, the first one is when the interest rate comes out. I don't trade that. Usually we see some kind of spikes up and down, and more often than not, either price kind of starts going a little bit kind of, it can go up and down and kind of retest almost the same level where it started, and can maybe create a momentum 1-2 minutes after that, and that can last until eventually half an hour later. Where Powell starts is to reading this statement at 7:30. Price starts most likely to compress a little bit, and then when the Q&A starts, maybe 10 minutes into his after he starts reading his statement, maybe 7:40, 20 to 8, that's when the turn can occur. And then how big the turn is going to be, it depends, maybe just until here, and price eventually can scale and basically doesn't even almost close at the same stage where it was. But yes, it's going to be during that press conference, during the Q&A. When the Q&A starts, that's usually when you see potential reversals in there. Yeah, the interest rate, when the moment it comes out, spike up and down, and then maybe some momentum, whatever the decision. Pay attention to when this interest rate decision comes out. Let's pretend that price kind of is moving like this. There's a spike down. It takes some kind of low in here, and then kind of reverses. Yeah, then of course it's managed to break this high. It starts reading a statement. Price does it. It looks like it wants to go. Just take this level. There you go. Q&A. Boom. Goodbye. And you can most likely close even below this wall, or at least retest this wall in here. It depends if you actually break a wall or not in there. But pay attention to the detail of where price goes to during the interest rate. Sometimes it can give you actually the indication where price wants to go in the future. But before that, actually price can go higher in there. So yep, FOMC, those three timings, a little bit the same. ECB press conference. The timing of the turn on the ECB, it's a little bit tricky. Maybe price doesn't even turn, price just continues to go in the same direction. But yes, around the same time between the Q&A, that's when you see some kind of movement starting to go. So yeah, three different timings on this kind of news events. Yep. All right. With that being said, guys, as always, I have levels to the upside and downside. On the tree, we have a bias on where price is going to go in the immediate term. You are talking about Bitcoin, most likely. Yeah, but until the range walls are broken, I'll be looking for higher. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, these walls are managing to be respected. We slightly took this one in here, but of course, as I mentioned, kind of the most important is this one. Yeah, let's see how price is going to react from this supply. The spike is a premonition to what will happen, right? It can be if it breaks levels. It can be if it breaks levels. It can be if it breaks levels, just like Euro Dollar the other day with the news. Yeah. Sometimes. So what I'm going to be doing tomorrow is just the same way that I found on the Euro that actually that was taken. I'm going to try to find some clues along the way. It can be maybe any of the dollar pairs. Can be, I think, the one day somewhere, one of the previous meetings. I think my clue was taken by the dollar franc Swiss. Some key level of structure that was broken, and kind of that gave me a little bit of an idea that dollar wanted to go lower. So that was the clue that I found. Can be some other. It can be maybe with the euro. Can be with something. Yep. If it is even more than one, maybe even better to look for. Yep. So I'm going to try to find some clues along the way. Usually there's a reason why they are breaking some lows. It's not kind of just by chance. Lows are highs, any. Yep, the supply in there, right? On the dollar, on BTC, and this one card is about to break. It's about to break. Okay, guys. Yep. Be ready for tomorrow. Rest, which is something that I need to do as well. Be ready to be active tomorrow. It's going to be a long day. Basically, for many, tomorrow the trading session may start at this time, around 7 p.m. tomorrow, or 1 hour and a half until maybe 8:30 when the press conference finishes. So it's going to be a long day tomorrow. Yep. Be ready for it. And then of course the rest of the week is going to be massive. So yes, let's see if the dollar finally turns. Let's see if we gain some momentum. There are a few levels. Let's see if the euro breaks the highs, pound maybe breaks the highs, Aussie as well, attention to it. Yep, the indices, are they going to continue to go higher or not? FOMC. You're welcome, Jack. Phantom MNX. Just change your name, man. Who did you get the name from? Just call you. I'm going to call you Mr. Scalper from now on. Yeah. About trades. I hope you come back more often as well to the stream. Good luck tomorrow. Yeah. Be disciplined, right? If you don't find opportunities, just don't even trade the news. If some of you like to trade the news, yeah, just be careful with that. See you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you next Saturday. Some others, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a good one. Obrigado.